Hey everyone, Techni here with the headset review, and the headset we have today is the SteelSeries Arctis Pro Wireless Edition. Yeah, the very expensive ones. And when I say yeah, the very expensive ones, yes, the price ticket is roughly what is like $329 or something. I was lucky enough to pick them up on Prime Day for a little bit cheaper, but again, MSRP at $329. Hot diggity dog, that is one expensive headset. I don't care what you say. That is pricey. You know what I mean? But what we're gonna kind of cover here is it worth that price tag? Because honestly, there are some features packed into this headset that I have never seen before, which is kind of what drew me to them, you know what I mean? But we're gonna go over all those today. We'll do a mic test and everything. I tested them on PlayStation 4 Pro and the PC. Test them on Xbox, but anyways, they're meant for PlayStation, Xbox, or PC, but you can run 3.5. I'm jumping way ahead of myself here. But anyways, there's so much into this, and we're gonna talk about it all, so this video might be a little bit longer. I apologize for that. Also, one other thing, if y'all have been with me for a while, as y'all know, my favorite headset is the SteelSeries Arctis Pro, the wired version, which I have done a review as well, which you can check out those. And I've reviewed just about every other Arctis headset out there, minus the 9X. But anyways, if you want to see any of those, go check those out as well. I absolutely love the SteelSeries headsets. I think they're fantastic, cozy. I really think you're getting your money's worth. I honestly love them, and no sponsorship or nothing here from SteelSeries. This is all with my own money, and I honestly really love the headsets. But again, we're going to cover, are these worth that price tag, some of the features and benefits with it, and then again, at the end of it, I'll kind of compare it a little bit to the Arctis Pro Wireless. I was going to do a whole comparison video, but I don't think it's really worth it because they're really two completely different headsets, as crazy as that sounds, but I'll let you know a few differences about them at the end of the video. But let me pull you in real quick, show you the headset, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, so what did you guys think about the close-ups right there? I think they look gorgeous. Yeah, they look just like every other Arctis headset, right? But me personally, I've really been wanting a set of white Arctis headset here. I just love it with the white, with the black accent up here, and then on the ear cups and everything. My whole setup's black, white, and red, and just, I don't know, they look really crisp. I really like the way they look. As far as in your box, you get the headset, the DAC, you get a windscreen for your mic right there. You'll get a optical cable for a PlayStation 4 hookup. You get a 3.5, which again you can use on Xbox 3.5 and stuff like that. But don't buy these for Xbox. You lose all the features and the sound. So again, as far as Xbox, just right off the bat, nope, don't get them for that. You get a mobile charging cable, and then over there I have you have USB for the power, and then USB that connects into DAC for PC, which I have plugged into my PC because we're going to be using the DAC over there later. But again, for a wireless headset, you get a massive amount of wires. So anyways, number one, like I always do, we start off with comfort, right? Because like I always state, I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing it, but if we put them on our head and they are not comfortable, we're going to take them off, and anything else doesn't even matter. Even the sound, as important as sound is, if these things are just pinching our heads and totally uncomfortable, who cares how great they sound or how good of a deal they were? I don't know if we can say these were a good deal, you know what I mean? They're pretty expensive. But anyways, as far as comfort, they feel quite similar to all the other Arctis headsets. As you can see, you have the little sports material right here on the ear cushions. Super duper plush. As you can see, in here you have that little pleather on the inside right there to lock in some of your sound, but very breathable, very, very soft. I mean, you're not going to find a more comfortable headset than a pair of Arctis. I really mean that. As far as your headband adjustment, you use a little ski adjustment with a little elastic stretchable right there, and you just peel right here and then adjust if you need it bigger or smaller right there. Just along, same with all the other Arctis headsets. But as far as comfort, I do really like them, but, and yes, this is probably the first SteelSeries product that I gotta say but, and kind of question, right? And it's not really like this horrible, bad, deal-breaking thing, but I honestly noticed them being a bit heavier than any Arctis headset. More heavier than the 7s, or the pros or anything. You know, we've kind of gone up in grade of Arctics here, starting with the 3s and going up, you know, now being with their top of the line one here. And I really do notice these being heavier. And it's kind of weird. It's not like they're not clamping heavy or anything, but I feel them on the top of my head, and it, you know, travels down to the ear cups here. And I know these are wireless. They got the Bluetooth, and there's tons of features packed into them. I know you got the battery and all that, but I just noticed them being a little bit heavier, and it's just, I caught myself adjusting them. To be honest with you, I caught myself adjusting them a few times. Usually when I throw on any other Arctis headset, it's like, man, they're on there, and I forget they're on my head. Again, I'm not saying they're uncomfortable by any means. What I'm doing, I'm saying I noticed them. But again, they didn't press anywhere or make my ears sweat or anything like that. Compared to other Arctis headsets, and maybe that's just me since I've tested all of them just about, you know, and I kind of compare them from this to that, you know. But, again, I do notice these a little bit more on my head. And as far as build, they feel really solid. I mean, you can stretch them out and twist them up and everything. The headband up here is metal. You have that aluminum going there. But where to catch it is right down here in the arm. It is plastic right there. So it goes metal, plastic, metal, plastic. Right, so I guess at this price point, I kind of wish they would have adjusted that so that whole thing is metal right there. I'm sure, you know, because you can see the headband goes through it right here, and you have some screws. So I'm sure that would have cost a lot more to manufacture and everything. But I guess at this price point, I would have rather see the entire deal go to metal. The metal arms right here go into the plastic ear cups. I'm not sure what they're holding on into there. But again, you go metal, plastic, metal, plastic. But again, they feel extremely durable. Again, like I stated before, they got some weight to them, you know, and you really feel the weight compared to other Arctis headsets, but they feel very durable. You can stretch them, pull them out and everything, and they feel really solid. So as far as comfort and durability, I think we have a win on our hands here, right? You know, along with all the other Arctis headsets, I really love them. I give all the other Arctis headsets like an A+ for comfort. I might have to give this one an A. You know what I mean? Just because I feel that weight a little bit, I just got to give it an A instead of that A+. But across the board, I really think we have a win. Also, now let's go and talk about a few features, and we'll get into the mic and everything. And I want to point a few out here real quick, and then we'll go over to the PC and start using the DAC and everything. Anyways, on the bottom of the headset, as you can see right here, you have your mic, which comes in and out of the headset right here. It's pretty cool that the mic's actually white along with the headset too, not just a black cable. And you can see you can bend it whichever way you'd like. Whenever you mute the mic, that light right here actually turns red whenever you mute it. Speaking of mute, here's your mute button right here for the headset. And you see right, the real big button, so you can really decipher whenever it's pressed in or out. All right, so right below the mute button there, as you guys can see, our volume rocker right there, our wheel. Now let me see if you guys can hear this real quick. Do you guys hear those little clicks in there? So it's really nice. Whichever increment you're going up or down, you have those little clicks, which is just, I mean, it's so nice. This is the first headset I've ever used that has that. Most headsets have just a, smooth rolling wheel, which, I mean, they're not bad. And then right below our volume wheel, as you can see, you have your USB right up here, which will bring you to 3.5. And then right down here is a share port, so if you have someone sitting next to you, they can just plug their headphones right into there and listen to exactly what you're hearing. Right down here, you have a charge port right there, so you can charge these guys, your battery through the DAC or through the headset like this as well. And then again, of course, we roll right back down into our mic. On the other ear cup, as you can see right here, you have your power button, and then you have your Bluetooth button right there. Alright, so let's go and talk about the DAC a little bit. And honestly, right off the bat, I thought the DAC was going to be very intimidating. I was almost worried about it because I like my headsets kind of being like plug and play. And I was like, I don't want all this stuff to have to fiddle with, and have to go through to get it, set up right and everything. But it is so easy. I mean, it's just really awesome. As you can see right now, we're plugged into PC. This battery indicator over here is for the battery that is charging within the DAC over here, as we talked about earlier. So anyways, while the DACs or the headset's in use, that battery will always be charging it. Let's go on power on the headset right now. There we go. So as you can see, it says connected, and this is really cool because over here, now you're going to get the battery information of the battery that's within the headset. So you know when that's about to die, and if you got a full charge on this one over there. So it's really cool because honestly, you're never really out of battery juice because once this one's out, bam, pop that one out, swap them out, and you're good to go. And you have the indicator right there, which I really, really like. Now, as far as Bluetooth on the headset as well, it's just as easy as power them on. Just hold that Bluetooth button down right here. You'll see the blue light flashing. bam, it'll say pairing, and whatever Bluetooth device you have, your phone or whatever, it is instant. It is super duper quick. I use an iPhone and it just paired up instantly. So real quick, looking at the DAC, obviously right here you have volume wheel. This is gonna be kind of like your menu navigator. You press it in to get to the menu and stuff, and then scrolling with that, and then selecting like kind of like an enter button. This little button down here is gonna be your back button. But one thing I want to show you before you get into the DAC or anything, obviously as you see it says PC with volume, which I just talked about. This can be used as your volume wheel, and you have little clicks in between there. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that, but it also has a very nice rubber feel. Nice soft touch rubber feel. It doesn't feel like some chintzy plastic or anything. And then again, as you're adjusting, bam, you can hit that and go back. But the one thing I want to show you that's really, really cool touch, your volume wheel on the headset also adjusts that little scroll bar on the DAC right there. So really cool touch. So this adjusts it right here, and then also with on the headset. Really, really awesome touch, I think. We're gonna click in, and as you can see, you have your chat mix right there. So you have game to your chat, and then you can just scroll it over right like that and click whatever one you like, which is so you can hear your chat or game, put it in the middle so you can hear both right there. We'll scroll right down here to equalizer. This is really, really cool. As you can see, they have some, other way, we have some presets in there, which all of these can be adjusted on the SteelSeries software as well. But again, we have our profile right here. Double click to edit. And what I really like about this, so okay, we're editing. And again, you can adjust all of them right there. By the way, when you go down to up right here, just if you don't know, down here is going to be your low end. You get into mids. Up here, you get into your highs. But what I really like about this is while you're in game, you can get in here and adjust each of these little bars right here and hear it. Right, so you can adjust and actually hear the difference in your game as you're adjusting those. Now, also talking about the equalizers just here, one thing I don't like, how I was just saying how I like how you can hear when you adjust each of those. What I don't like is whenever you scroll through each of these, music, entertainment, yada yada, balanced, you can't hear that. You actually have to click on them and select that option to hear the difference. I don't know, me personally, I never even use any of those presets, and I doubt you will either. You kind of get in here, and again, the cool thing is how you can adjust this per game, and you can set up different profiles. Like say if you're playing, I don't know, PUBG, and you just want to hear those footsteps, but you want a little kickback there, right? Bam, set that up to that right there, you know? And you can rename them as well. And then go in and create another profile so for your story game or something. You're pretty much never going to use the presets anyways, because where you're going to get this headset to shine is when you get in here and collect or preset your own settings here. Now we're going to scroll right down to surround, and it's pretty much that. Click on it, turn your surround on or off. Whenever you click it on, and we'll back out of the whole menu here, as you see up here, it says 7.1 now showing the surround. And honestly, the 7.1 sounds pretty stinking good in this. No, it's not a true 7.1 by any means, but it just makes the soundstage a little bit crisper and a little more balanced. I honestly leave it always on. So let's scroll down. We did source. Let's get into options. We have a lot of stuff in here. So we have our brightness, and this is of the DAC right there. As you see, our lowest. And then crank it up. I like it on the brightest right there. It just looks really nice and crisp. Now when we get down here to headset right here, it gets a little confusing. What's that saying? Let's click on it here. It says choose which screen to include in headset menu. Headset menu is again your volume rocker here. Well, we got to back out. Let me back out of this all the way. All right, so I'm going to be using the headset rocker here. I'm going to press it in. As you can see, we have chat mix. Press it in again, and you have your equalizer. And press it in again, and you can choose your source, your input right there. Click it again, and you go back to the main menu. So you kind of have a 3 quick options right there. Which again, if we go back into here, options. Let's scroll down to where were we? Headset, was that right? I forget. Yeah. And anyways, you can choose which ones you want to be on there, or if you want none, so you accidentally never press it, right? So really cool that you can set those to exactly what you'd like. Over here you have beep. As you notice while we're scrolling through this whole menu, you're not hearing any beeps. If you activate that beep and turn it on, every single option we'll be doing, you'll be getting a little notification beep. If you like that, you can click that on. Me personally, I do not. Then right below here, you have a few options that I never use. I don't know why you'd use it. You have pairing, which honestly, they're always paired. They never disconnect or anything. But I guess if you need to, you have that option right in there, as you can see. But again, I've never had to use it. You have standby, which just kind of shuts it down. So again, I'm not too sure what that would really be. You have reset, which will reset all your settings in there, which again, another thing I don't think you'll be using. And then you have your Bluetooth right here, which you have right there. Your pairing and all that stuff for Bluetooth, which again, you pretty much just press the button on the headset right here and you're good to go. So you really never have to use that either. Then you have some screen options here as far as timeout and your modes and stuff like that, as far as dimmers and whatnot. Again, a lot of these options within this I don't think you'll ever use. I personally never use them. I went through them once and used them and adjusted them, and that was pretty much it from there. But what I really want you to look at here, so we got screen that we just went through again over those options never used. This is one thing I really want you to pay attention on, the volume limiter, right? So right when you get this headset, you plug it in and everything, go down to the volume limiter, and it's going to be set to volume limiter yes. Out of the box, it's going to be set to yes. So you're going to be thinking, man, this headset's pretty low. I'm not going to say it's like absolutely quiet, but it is lower. So anyways, get right into here and click it to no, and you're going to notice a massive difference as far as volume. I don't know if they got to put that on there as far as yes, so they're not going against some hearing laws or something. I don't know, but anyways, click it to no, and wow, these things are going to come to life on you right there, right? So mic LED brightness, which is again where you mute. Let me see, where's the mic? As you can see, we have it muted now. Turn it off. And then we are muted, and you can adjust the brightness right there. So auto off is, again, however long you want it. Your headset's just sitting there. It'll turn off by itself right there. I keep it off because sometimes I just take mine off, and I like, I'm just kind of sitting there and picking them up whatever I want. And then you have your system info. So again, a lot of these last options are kind of whatever. They're there, The biggest one you really want to make sure that you scroll all the way down to is the volume limiter. Some of these other ones I don't think you'll ever really use. It's really just these first few that are really important within the DAC.
All right, so now that we just talked about the DAC and everything, I kind of want to show you the SteelSeries software as well. First, let's pick what SteelSeries products do we have here? I'm not sure. Wait, hold on. Which one do we have? Oh, here we go. That one. Okay. Anyways, so I wanted to talk about this now, and by the way, while I'm doing this, talking about this, I am using the mic on the headset, so this is going to be our mic test as well. But anyways, while I was just talking about that stuff on the DAC, which you had an absolute massive amount of stuff to adjust on there, there's still stuff where you're going to want to get onto the SteelSeries software and adjust some of this stuff as well. Again, with the, you have your surround sound, which you can do on the DAC right there, but you have these other things, surround profiles, which you couldn't do on the DAC, right? Bass enhancement right here, which I like mine on high and my dialogue on low. It just kind of brings it out and just balances it. We give it a little bit extra punch right there, you know what I mean? And then of course you can adjust your settings right here, your equalizer, which again we could do on the DAC right there as well. And then you have some of your mic side tone stuff, which you could adjust on the DAC as well. But in here, in the software, you can go to Live Mic Preview and actually hear your mic. Like whenever you're in here adjusting, you'll be able to hear what you sound like to your buddies and everything like that. You also have settings over here, which is this kind of stuff that you could do in the DAC as well, like Bluetooth on when start off, auto shut off. A lot of this stuff is your DAC settings right here, which could all be controlled in the DAC. It's really your audio over here, which is a little bit of just a few more options that you have. And also it's pretty cool, these little question marks on the SteelSeries software will pop up here and just give you a quick rundown on what each option does for you, which is really nice. I honestly love the SteelSeries software.
Whew. All right, I'm back with you. Now I really apologize. I'm kind of bouncing around here and there and kind of going on. There's just so much into this headset, and to be honest with you, this is probably the hardest headset I've ever reviewed. There's just so much into it, which again I think is great because there's so many awesome features in it. But again, I do apologize if I'm kind of bouncing around here. So anyways, a couple things I want to talk about here. Number one, that mic, as we were just doing that mic test right there, I think this mic is solid. One of the best we have tested. Really, really solid mic. And I was using it without the windscreen, by the way. So put the windscreen on right there and you'll get a little nicer touch. Now, when you put the windscreen on, you can't slide it all the way back in there. Kind of sticks out a bit, But again, really, really solid mic. One thing I really want to point out to that I think is just awesome, which is kind of one of the selling points on this headset for me. I don't know, some of you may know I have a 5-year-old son, right? So when he's at school and I'm sitting here editing videos or playing a game, you know what I mean? Anyways, it's really cool. So you can have the Bluetooth active while the wireless is active. So say I'm in the middle of whatever it may be, a game or something like that. Bam, if I get a phone call, it's going to come right into the headset. It's going to use whatever ringtones. Now, I'm using an iPhone, by the way, so I'm speaking as far as an iPhone XR. It'll ring within the headset with whatever ringtone I have. It'll come up on the DAC as well, and it'll say answer or decline or something like that. Ignore. Ignore. It's answer and ignore. And you can choose it right here on the DAC. Press it in, and bam, it'll pick up the phone just like that. It'll stop the game audio and go right to my phone call. that is such an awesome selling point for me. Like a really, really big one actually. Because again, like say if I got the headset on and I'm totally, completely sucked into this game, right? It's blasting my ears. Someone calls me from my son's school or my wife calls me or something like that, right? The phone's going off. I'm not going to notice it. You know what I mean? Bam, I get that phone call right in here. That is such a big selling point for me. Because again, that's kind of why, you know, sometimes I don't use a headset a lot when I'm you know, working and stuff, because it just, again, I like being alert and knowing it's right there. Or sometimes I just put my phone right in front of me now, you know what I mean? But that is such a cool touch that bam, it'll come right through right there, and you can just catch your phone call. Such an awesome selling point right there. And as far as our Bluetooth and all, you can do music through your phone and everything as well. I mean, like I said earlier on the DAC, let me show you back here. I'm not sure if you caught it. You got line in right there, and then you got your optical and your USB and stuff. So there's so many other options you can connect to this, whether it be some speakers or whatever, and just run it all through this and control there. Sure, you don't get all the features that are packed in with the headset, but again, you kind of can use it as kind of like a little dinky receiver, I guess, if you say, you know what I mean? So you can get a lot of use out of that guy. And one other thing, touching on a DAC as well, again, it feels pretty solid. It feels like a pretty thick plastic right there, but what I really like about it, on the bottom, all across the edge right there is rubber grip. So when it's on your desk and you're in here messing with it and adjusting it and pressing that in and everything, it does not move at all, because again, it just grips right there, and every single edge on it has a very nice thick rubber grip. So again, when you're pressing on it, it does not budge on you whatsoever. All right, so that's the DAC and the settings and stuff. Did I miss something? Boy, I'm sure I did. Again, there's so much packed into this headset. It's just, wow. I mean, I think that's where you're kind of getting into that price. There's so much packed into this. You can't even look at it as just a gaming headset. There's just, wow, so many features. Anyways, let's get into sound. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about sound here. Now, I do apologize for getting so in-depth with the DAC right there, but again, with this headset at this price range, you're not just buying our two basic things, which is comfort and sound, like the majority of our other headsets, right? You're buying this DAC and you're buying these features, which I think is just important with this headset as far as comfort, sound, and then the features. That's kind of why I wanted to cover those and go into such depth with them. But again, I do apologize for that. But anyways, let's go on and talk about sound here. Also, first up, talking about sound, I did test these on the PS4 Pro and the PC. I also tried them on, like I stated earlier, on the Xbox and everything, but you got to run it by the 3.5, and they sound just... Don't even bother looking at this headset for Xbox or anything. Again, we want to focus on PlayStation 4 and the PC for this headset. Now, for PlayStation 4, you connect it by the optical right there, and you either connect it by the USB or the DC. I recommend you going with the DC in right there, because then you're going to charge the battery within here while you're playing on PS4. If you go to the regular USB, you are not. So make sure you plug it in through the DC right there, and then you go in through your optical. Now, if you have a PlayStation Slim, and I had to go on to SteelSeries site and actually watch the video, because I don't have a PlayStation Slim. I have a PS4 Pro and it has the optical, but PlayStation Slim does not, and I believe your optical has to go through the TV. So to go from your HDMI from your PlayStation to TV, and then your TV into this optical right here. So it gets a little more confusing that way, but if you have a Pro, or I think the old PlayStation, you'll have the optical switch, so you can just bam, plug it in right like that. All right, so talking soundstage and sound quality, I mean, yeah, they got some volume and it's crisp and it's a really nice soundstage. Again, you get into that equalizer and you're going to bounce it out just to your liking right there, you know what I mean? So I can't say it's muddy or too bassy or too high, because again, it's all going to be adjusted in here to your liking, so you're going to be able to adjust that, which is really nice. And they are loud. They are very loud on PlayStation and PC and everything. Again, you get the bass, you get your mids, you get your highs, and it's real bounce and it's real clear. But my goal, again, coming from the Pro Wireless, the Pro Wired, coming to the Pro Wireless, you know, with the sound, same frequency of 10 to 40,000, 10 being your low end bass, 40,000 being your high end. I was kind of hoping for that same sound stage as the Pros, but you don't get it. You really don't, and that's coming from the wireless. As on SteelSeries website, they even state, yeah, they have the high-res drivers in there, same as the Pro Wired, but going wireless, you don't get that frequency going wireless yet. They sound great, they sound very good, but no, they don't sound anywhere near as good as the wired version. Like, I'm not going to say it's like night and day, but it is noticeable. It really is. Like, the Pro Wireless, I mean, they just knock your socks off. They sound so crisp, so clear. I honestly love them. They really, really sound that good. Again, I'm not saying these sound bad. These are more or less like a mix. I'd say these are kind of like the 7s mixed with a touch of the Pros, if you've tested those out, right? It's kind of right in between right there. Again, it's crisp and clear, but again, when you test out those Pro wired, whew, good night, they sound fantastic. You know, now I'm going off rambling about the Pro wired here, right? When I'm supposed to be focusing on these. But anyways, the sound in these, it does sound fantastic. It is great, but I know a lot of us that are shopping these, we're also wondering, hey man, do these sound worse than the wired ones because they're wireless? And yes, the wired ones do sound better. They sound noticeably better. They really do. Now, the one thing I really wish, and I did try it, you know, I plugged it in from here into here, or plugged these right into the volume rocker of the wired Pros, and then into the PC, and I was kind of hoping, I'm like, okay, well, let's see. I'm not getting that Arctis Pro wired soundstage right now. What if I actually just plug these directly into the PC, or through that volume rocker, you know, since I got the wired Pros, without the DAC, that is. And no, I didn't get it, which was kind of shocking. I'm like, well, why am I not getting that if I'm plugging these in through that right there and then into the PC? Why can't I get that high-res soundstage? It's kind of weird. Again, it just sounded completely different, and I swapped them. I was going back and forth. Like, I had my Pro wired right here and these, and I kept putting them on. I was like, something's just... And it's, again, when you got them right here and you're going one to the other, wow, the wired version really, really shines. But again, what I was really wishing for that, okay, if I want to play a serious competitive game, bam, I can just plug these in and get the same soundstage as the wired ones. But I wasn't. Was I doing something wrong? I'm not too sure. Maybe we'll have to actually get in touch with SteelSeries and see, hey, is there a way to actually plug these into the PC and get that high-res soundstage that the Pro wired have? But again, I couldn't get it to work. It was a noticeable difference going from the Pro wired to these, whether it be plugged in or wireless or whatever. So anyway, since we just talked about that sound, and I said the Pro wired ones sound better, noticeably better, right? We're kind of like, where do you class these, right? Are they worth that price? Very expensive price, to be honest with you know what I mean? And I do think they are worth it. Again, I got them on Prime Day, so maybe I'm kind of thinking on that a little bit more. I think what was it, like $250 or something. I think that's a pretty fair price. I really do at $250. You're talking $330 regular MSRP, and still at that, I think it's worth that. Again, I was so intimidated by the DAC at first when I ordered them. Like, man, I don't want to have to mess with all that, but it's so easy and it's so convenient that honestly, now I want to go buy the Pro wired ones with the DAC. Actually, I'm gonna. You know what I mean? Because I love this DAC. I really do. It's so easy to use. I know the DAC that comes with the wireless is different, but this thing was so convenient, and I really loved using it. It was very easy and convenient again. But again, with this headset, you're getting so many features packed into this that have not been in any of the other headsets I have tested. From the Bluetooth, down to the little things like the click and the volume wheel, you know what I mean? It's just... I mean, it's so awesome. The biggest sell point for me, honestly, yes, I did want the same soundstage as the Pro wired. That was my number one that I wanted that it didn't have, which was kind of a bummer. But it's having that phone call ability right there. So whenever I'm working or playing a game, I'll still get my phone call while my other volume's playing there. I love that. That is a huge selling point for me. And then after using the DAC and everything, that sold me as well. It's like, wow, this thing is so cool. I absolutely love it. You know, it's not big, it's not bulky, it's not ugly. Bam, throw it in the corner of your desk right there, and you can adjust it and everything. Super nice and convenient. All right, so wow, whew, what a headset review. I probably missed so much or just rambled on about something, and I apologize that if you stuck through this whole thing, I highly appreciate it. Thank you, and I hope I was able to help out a little bit. Again, that's where I got to class this headset, though. It's kind of, look at the options and the features packed within it, the wireless and all that, you know. And will they work out for you? That's kind of where you got to class that price range. No, this headset's not going to be everybody like, go buy this right now. You got to look at the features, which is what I did. I love the phone call thing. I love the wireless. I love the DAC. You know, I'm testing so many products on my desk right there that having that wireless was a pretty big benefit. But that's where you got to class this headset. No, this is not a headset you just buy and you try for that sound or what. You know, this is kind of one that you got to sit there and pick apart. Do I need this feature, that feature, and this feature over here? And that's where you're going to get your money's worth. If you're just looking for a wireless headset and you just want that sound, go with the 7s. You know what I mean? If you want the high-res sound, go with the wired Pros because you're going to stink and love them. All right, so again, I do highly apologize that this one was much longer than a lot of my other headset reviews. Again, there's so much involved in this headset. I wanted to make sure I covered all of it. If I missed something, I do really apologize for that. Definitely ask in the comments. Follow me on Twitter at TheTechnie1, and I'll answer any questions you have for this headset. But please do, if I missed something, just ask it down in the comments, and I'll get back to you. If I don't, hopefully someone else will. But I try to get to most of my comments. But again, I apologize that it was so long. I just wanted to cover everything. But hey, thank you so much for watching. So I highly appreciate it. If you stuck through the whole thing, I gotta give you a high five because I know this was a long one, but I highly do appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for some future tech videos. Hey, I hope I catch you in the next one. Bye now.